He's a two-time Super Bowl champion and a radio host at WEEI in Boston. And like me, he has some new Michael Jordan sneakers courtesy of Rob Parker. My man, give it up for Christian Fauria. What's up, brother?
Hey.
How are you?
How good are those new shoes? I mean, there's nothing like a brand new pair of shoes, one, but when they're Jordans, I haven't even taken mine out of the box. They're still in the box. I don't plan on wearing them until Rob comes to Boston and I can take him to dinner. When Rob comes to Boston, I'm gonna sport those things all over town and then tell the story of how Rob bought them for me.
And
There
I just hope that they'll treat me the right way at the restaurant in Boston when we go. You know what I'm saying, Christian?
You're with me.
I would wear a face shield,
good.
Rob. I would wear a face shield if I were you.
Hey, let's, Christian, my God. Let's start here.
Okay.
Is Cam Newton coming back to New England? Because I saw a tweet by you. Was it you that said, like, oh, no, like it's 40% chance that he could come back? Was that you? But I saw that somewhere. Is he coming back to Boston?
Rob, I don't think he's going to be in the league.
Okay.
I don't think. Forget about New England. I don't think he's going to be in the NFL. And I feel like whenever you talk about Cam Newton, you almost have to say, but he's a good guy, because he's so accommodating. He says all the right things. He accomplished so much, and he really, and he didn't play very well. So whenever somebody's critical of him, I feel like they're critical of him, and then they say, but he's a great guy. I don't think he'll be in the league. And that's not me throwing shade about being disrespectful to him of what he's accomplished. I just don't think he's a good quarterback, and he could start in the NFL. So, and he damn sure is not going to be in New England.
Well, is it that? Because I was wondering, I hear you. I think New England might be the only place, certainly the only place I thought he'd have a chance to start again. But I thought the Patriots would beat the bushes and see if they can get a better option. And if they couldn't, then why not go back to Cam for a year? I mean, I'm not saying he's your guy of the future, but like, what are their options other than Cam Newton?
I think if Cam ends up signing, first of all, it is like nothing went right. Like nothing that they wanted to do, nothing that they wanted to accomplish went right. But I think they have a bunch of different options. I think there are some free agents out there. There are some guys that I look at Jameis Winston as a guy that I think could be a viable option, like a reclamation project.
With him, you like him and Belichick together?
I love him and Belichick together. I think about his last year in Tampa when he threw 30 touchdowns and 30 picks. And then I sit there and I go, well, after watching Brady this last year about how many picks he threw and how he kept throwing it down the field and the careless, reckless nature of that offense philosophy didn't fit Jameis Winston. I think under a more controlled atmosphere with a game plan that is structured to kind of make him be more disciplined and rely on other people, I think he will thrive in that system. But I do think they have other options.
Let me ask you about Stidham. I mean, what happened? He was supposed to be the heir apparent, and then Cam came along, and now it looks like is he still a prospect? Is he still a possibility that he could be a starting quarterback, not just in New England, but anywhere, or are people falling out of love with him, Christian?
You know what? We talk to Bill every Monday during the season, and once it kind of got really obvious that the team wasn't going to make the playoffs and Cam was struggling just to kind of, keep the ball in the air, we asked him, okay, is it time to play Stidham? And his answer was always a long pause, and it was usually, we're going to play the guy that gives us the best chance to win. So if they thought Cam was a better option based on how he was playing after they weren't even in the playoffs anymore, and then they weren't willing to go to Stidham, that shows you that they already have all the answers that they need. They probably already kind of have an idea of what his ceiling is and what he's capable of. So why bother? So instead of throwing Stidham out there, just throw a bunch of picks and have everybody going crazy and scrambling left and right. To me, it's more about who would you rather have, the devil you know or the devil you don't. Like they knew what Cam was capable of, even though it was limited and boring and just not exciting. But with Stidham, you don't know what you're going to get. And I just figured based on the amount of time that he was around, they already knew.
So I just want to get this right because obviously you know people in the organization, you talk to people. Cam's not going to be back. Are you? That's what you say. Like Cam's
I am
not
on
coming
record.
back.
Chris, I don't know how many times I need to say this. I laugh when I hear national analysts talk about Cam Newton, and when I hear him on like the podcast that he did, where he has Brandon Marshall and Fred Taylor and all these guys like talking him up, like they watched every game. I watched every single game. Like and I know where the level when players get to an era where teams are just kind of they know what he is. So there was a reason why he didn't have a job for 86 nights. Like, and I would say this: did he help himself or hurt himself last year? Did he prove that teams were wrong for not signing him after 86 nights, or did they prove those teams right by not signing him for 86 nights? I mean, you tell me.
Well, he got off to a decent start, and then he got COVID, and I don't know. I'm not ready
That's
to
the excuse.
there's no excuse, Christian. Christian, he did he get COVID or not?
Okay, but Rob.
Did he get COVID?
He said himself. Okay, the first two games he played well. They played Miami. I can't remember who the second game was. Okay, so he plays good. Yeah, see Seattle, and then he loses in the end. Okay, and then they played the Las Vegas Raiders.
Right.
And then the Raiders kind of figure him out. And then he gets COVID. He missed one practice that whole time. He admitted that there was no COVID issues. I give him the first two games. What happened in the last 8 games?
No, I'm not. I remember the start of the season, and I thought I remember he didn't get in at the 1. They could have beat Seattle. And what was their record?
They were 2-1 through 3 games.
Right.
And then if they had beaten Seattle, it would have been 3-0. Right.
Right.
And then
they had a
COVID
chance to beat
Kansas
3-0. Right. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I do have a.
Go ahead.
No, look. That's. I mean, I thought his only chance to start would be New England. I think he could be a backup if he changed his mindset and accepted that he's a backup. He could, guys like him in the locker room. I think he'd be good in that, but I don't know if he's in that mentality. But let's move on to Tom Brady, who there's talk about now in Tampa, them giving him an extension. Now, obviously, he's going to be 44 next year. What are your thoughts on, how long he can play? He's talking about another 5 years. Or no, LaShawn McCoy said he could play another 5 years. I mean, look, I like
Rob's
Brady.
nightmare.
I was with you on Brady, but come on. At some point, he's going to be old.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is Rob's nightmare, isn't it? I mean, I think,
yes.
I was thinking about this because you guys must have been reading my mind. I was thinking, what's the one thing Brady hasn't accomplished yet? So he did what Peyton Manning did, what Brett Favre couldn't do, what Joe Montana couldn't do. He did what Peyton Manning did. He left the team and he won a Super Bowl just like Peyton Manning did. But what he really needs to do is do it a third time. He needs to win another Super Bowl with the third team. That's what I actually think he's capable of doing that. You can call me crazy all you want, but what's going to happen is Tampa is going to be in the same situation that the New England Patriots are going to be in soon. You got him for a 2-year deal of $50 million. Are you going to renegotiate and extend him for one more year, or are you going to let him play it out and then see what happens? Is Bruce Arians still going to be there? Is Evans going to be there? Is Gronk going to be there? Is Antonio Brown going to be there? Is their defense going to be as good? I mean, is Todd Bowles going to be there? Maybe there's another team on the West Coast that says, you know what, we're a quarterback away. We'll pay you $35 million. I think that's possible. I do. And I had an event on my radio show 2 years ago. We had Alex Guerrero come on the show. So Alex Guerrero is his buddy that his trainer. Okay, just down, not to diminish it, but that's what he is for people who don't know. So and he came on the show, and we talked about how long he's going to play, and it always used to be 45. Alex comes on, and he's talking about 46, 47. 46, 47.
Wow.
I think that's reachable. I do.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it'll ultimately, listen, barring some crazy injury, he'll play as long as he wants to. And his favorite line is, I'm going to play till I suck. He said that on our air. I'll play till I suck. And he says, I don't plan on sucking for a while. That was like 4 years ago.
Last thing, we got to run here, and I want you just to answer. You're a God-fearing man. Is that correct, Christian?
Of course. Come on. The Catholic school boy my whole life.
That's what I thought. Okay, so you're not going to lie to us. Just a yes or no answer.
This is a setup.
Did the Patriots cheat when you were there?
It's so stupid. No.
All right.
No.
All right,
Listen,
all right.
listen, eventually you'll come to the dark side, Rob.
Nah, it ain't happening ever, Christian.
That
ever.
is our
You
man, Christian
Appreciate you, though,
Fauria.
buddy. Thank
we
you.
appreciate you, brother. Thanks a lot.
All right, guys.
Great
See
stuff.
ya.
That was good stuff, Rob. I was a little stunned by. I mean, he was definitive on Cam.